Uwe Boll is probably one of the most controversial figures in modern filmmaking. Some call him the king of the crappy video game movie, while others consider him to be the Ed Wood of this generation. Needless to say, the man gets a lot of scorn heaped on him. Not all of it undeserved. I mean, after all, he did give us movies like Far Cry and Alone in the Dark, and then beat up critics who didn't like them in boxing matches. And then there's the whole German tax law loophole thing that he seems to love to exploit, meaning that no matter how badly reviewed or how badly earning his movies are, he always turns a profit. Yet, despite all of this, Mr. Boll has undergone something of a creative rebirth, or at the very least a major change in focus, I think, with his all-new movie Assault on Wall Street. The movie follows Dominic Purcell as Jim Baxford, an armored car security guard who loses everything when the economy crashes. Purcell has always been one of those actors that even when the movie he was in wasn't very good, he was at least good in it, and I get the feeling a lot of people figured he would be a bigger star by now. A good chunk of this movie really is just watching this poor man get put through the ringer by the banks, the insurance companies, heck, even his own lawyer. And his performance does a great job creating sympathy for Jim and his unfortunately all too relatable plight.
What's going on with my funds?
Your note's been delisted from the exchange.
I've lost all my money.
Now, as for the supporting cast, it's your standard Boll MO, a bunch of well-known name actors who probably weren't doing very much at the time, yet here they're actually given some fairly interesting stuff to do, namely Edward Furlong, who plays Jim's supportive best friend, and Keith David, who gets to yuck it up as a cop, as well as slimy old Eric Roberts getting to play a slimy old lawyer. Assault on Wall Street is an exploitation film in every sense of the word, and now I don't mean the big expensive tributes to exploitation movies that you might be familiar with. I mean a real, honest, cheap, dirty flick that seeks to poke the bear of the American financial collapse and give the audience the catharsis of getting to see a bunch of greedy fat cats blown away for their transgressions. Now, unlike Boll's other serious-minded movie, Rampage, that was of course a movie that gave you a front row seat into a madman's longed plan and ultimately chaotic lashing out. This movie is a different beast altogether, a lot more focused, a lot more personal. What I think I found most refreshing about this film is that unlike others in the revenge genre, there was no message-mongering, no speechifying. It's pretty much as straightforward as you can get. The Wall Street guys lied, cheated, and stole, ruined people's lives, and got off scot-free. Now somebody's gonna deal bloody vengeance to them. Now, don't get it twisted, I don't know if I can call Assault on Wall Street a good movie. As I said before, it's cheap, the dialogue feels very wooden and even inhuman at times, the movie relies heavily on montage and talking heads to get its exposition across, but by God, is it fascinating. Even when it's a mess, it's a fascinating mess. It almost makes me think that this is the kind of movie Uwe Boll has always wanted to make, because the passion can really be seen on screen, the sort of passion that you never see in any of his other work. Now, I'm almost certain people are going to overlook this movie just because who's involved with it. Now, if this seems like something you would be interested in, by all means, I say give it a try. I can't promise you'll like the movie or even love it, but I can promise that no matter what, it will stick with you and you'll definitely be talking about it the next day. Assault on Wall Street is in theaters and on iTunes now.